Hi guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today we're going to be comparing Scribbles That Matter bullet journal with Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal, both dot grid versions. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. I just grabbed one of my metallic Leuchtturms because it's the only that I have a few metallics I haven't written in. So these are special editions for their 100th anniversary. They have a silver, copper, and gold. And I have a whole video on those colors if you want to see that. But they actually are carrying them on Amazon now also. When I ordered them, they weren't. So that's really convenient. And they're not a higher price on Amazon right now than the Leuchtturm site. These are $5 more than the normal colored Leuchtturms. The metallic editions are like $25.50. The normal editions are $19.95. Scribbles That Matter is $19.95. I wanted to just leave the label on to show you what the metallic label looked like. Scribbles That Matter comes with this little label on there, and Scribbles That Matter came in this protective box. Leuchtturms come wrapped in a plastic wrap. Okay, so that is how they come. Let's get into the specifics here. I have full review videos on Leuchtturms, so I already have that out. I do not have any review videos on Scribbles That Matter. I've been wanting to do this review for a long time though, and I thought that my 9-year-old son would really enjoy this journal, and so I went ahead and got it. Because I will be honest, they cannot keep up with demand right now. And they do not have hardly any color options out right now that I'm interested in, at least. They have a pro version, which does not have the pictures, which I would be more interested in. So like the professional version, they call it the pro version. And they only have like one color in that left, like aqua, I think, on Amazon. And that's the only place you can buy them at this time, I think, that I know of. So they're having trouble keeping up with the demand. And so there's really no colors I'm interested in right now. Okay, let's break this down about each one, what I like and don't like. The Scribbles That Matter is a little bit different shape. The dimensions, it's a little bit thicker because the cover is thicker on both sides. And what that means is it does not fit in my 1-star leather cover. So I was really sad about that because I even thought I might get myself one to use if I liked the paper better, if it would fit in my 1-star leather goods cover, like I'm using my Leuchtturm right now for my daily list. And I just don't have my front stuck in, but the front sticks in here really nicely and functions really well. I was deciding which Leuchtturm to keep in here for my daily list, whether I was going to use a metallic or this older one that I've already written in, and that's why I don't have the front cover stuck in, because I was trying to decide that. But when I decide, I will stick that front cover in. So Scribbles That Matter it will not slide into the inserts here. It will not slide in. And if you're interested in this 1-star leather goods cover, it is amazing, and your strap even can be pulled through here, and I have an entire video review on this on my channel if you want to know more about it. So, but the Scribbles That Matter will not fit in there. So if you have a cover that your Leuchtturm fits in, your Scribbles That Matter will probably not fit unless the cover is too big, because it is just thicker. That's all it comes down to. All right, so that's one thing about the books. The second thing is they're both hardcover, and they both have a band, but Scribbles That Matter has a pen loop, and it actually functions pretty well. I like that it's on there, but if it was going in my leather cover, it really wouldn't matter. But you can get your pen in and out easily. And I have heard people say that their pen loop has ripped off though, so I'm not sure how long it will last. I read that in several reviews on Amazon, but I love the idea of the pen loop on there without having to buy one and add it. I've never added one to a Leuchtturm, so I'm not sure how well those work. But if you have, let me know down in the description. I would love to hear about that. So I love that addition. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the pictures, but I think some people's personalities and bullet journalers will love that. And definitely kids and teens might love that. So I think it's a great option. I think it's great that they finally came out with a plain version. But like I said, they just have no colors available right now because they cannot keep up with demand. The cover on your Leuchtturm is slick. The cover on Scribbles That Matter has a little bit of grip to it. So besides the texture of the pictures. All right, the ribbons. Let's just say this before I forget. I love the Leuchtturm ribbons because I feel like they're classy. They're grosgrain. They feel good to grip. They always function well, and I never have any problems with them, ever. The Scribbles That Matter ribbons are, I don't know what you call these ribbons, the silk type of ribbons. They're not grosgrain. They're a little bit thinner in width, just a tiny bit, but they are this silk material. I don't care for them personally. I would much rather have grosgrain ribbons in here. I just think it looks better. It feels better. It's just the type of ribbon that I prefer for my journals. So that's just my opinion. All right, let's open it up. The main difference is the paper that we're going to be talking about. All right, Scribbles That Matter is a little bit less creamy. I hope you can tell we have a really overcast day here in North Texas. So I'm not sure if that's coming through, but the Scribbles That Matter dots are darker and the paper is less creamy. It is not stark white, but the Leuchtturm paper is very creamy, a very cream color. So let me get these two pages close up here and let's look at that. So I'm not sure how that's coming out, but hopefully you can tell Leuchtturm dots are a lot lighter. Scribbles That Matters dots are a lot darker, and you have the color difference on the page. Okay, something else to note, and I just counted for you guys to make sure, because I had read this other places, that the Scribbles That Matter leaves a bigger margin. Leuchtturm doesn't have a margin at the top at all. The dots just start right there. And Scribbles That Matter has a margin at the top. And so what that means is Scribbles That Matter has one dot less going each way up and down. So Leuchtturm has 39 dots down by 28 dots across. And Scribbles That Matter has 38 dots down by 27 dots across. So they're one off there. So this is 39 down by 28 across. This is 38 down by 27 across. So you lose one dot each way. Now, I am not a bullet journaler. I use mine for journaling, for lists, for my daily lists, my weekly lists, and for important notes. And I use my bullet journals for a lot of things, but I don't draw out extensive spreads in them, since the only real planning I'm doing in mine is my daily and weekly lists, and I am not artistic in those lists. So it doesn't really matter to me, the dot count, but I know it matters to some bullet journalers. And let's look at this. Your pages are numbered in both of them. So they just look a little bit different, but you have your page numbers in both of them right there. Also, something to note is Leuchtturm, you get more pages because it's thinner paper. Leuchtturm, you get 251 pages. Okay, Scribbles That Matter, you get 201 pages. So you are getting 50 pages less in Scribbles That Matter, even though with the cover, it's a little bit thicker. But the paper is way better quality. You're going to have way less ghosting. Leuchtturm paper is 80 GSM, and Scribbles That Matter is 100 GSM. That makes a big difference. It really does. And honestly, I'll be honest, if this Scribbles That Matter fit in my 1-star leather cover, I would definitely be trying this for my daily bullet journaling because I'm using my Leuchtturm right now for all my daily and weekly lists. And I would definitely be trying this for my daily planning to see if I really love the paper so much better, because I actually like that it's not as creamy, I think. And I like that it's thicker, but I love the style of the Leuchtturm book so much better. The look and the style and the feel. So I have to say that. You have a pocket in both of them. You have an accordion pocket in both of them. The Scribbles That Matter opens bigger, and you have your cute scribbles all over the back in this version. You have a tie in both of them. So Leuchtturm comes with these archiving stickers, though, to label on the front and the sides of your book. If you're going to archive them at the end of the year and like have them on a shelf and you want to label that. And it's really nice because they match the color of the book. Scribbles That Matter does not come with that. And there's your Leuchtturm pocket. Well, it opens pretty darn wide too. So I don't think that there's a big difference in that. But I'll put those back in later. All right. So let's get into the pen testing here. I tested all the pens. It's kind of nice. Scribbles That Matter gives you a pen test page. And so I do think that's really nice. Of course, you can just use a page in the back of your Leuchtturm for that. But here's how everything fared on their pen test page. That's a Sharpie marker. I knew it would show through. I just did it for fun because I happen to have it near me. So there's all your pens. And you have to take into consideration it will look a little bit different on the dot grid pages. And I didn't want to write on the dot grid pages because I am giving this to my son to use. And so he wants to feel like it's his book and that I didn't write in it already. Let's show you in my Leuchtturm that I've used how the writing goes in here. So I have done some pen tests in the back of here when I did a video on this. I tested all these pens, and you can see on the back of this page how those pens show through. They definitely show through more. That's a Sharpie, and that's a Tombow. But the thing is, they never bleed through, even the Sharpie. And in Scribbles That Matter, it looks more like you're having bleeding points with the Sharpie. So it's the magic of the Leuchtturm paper that even the dark pens definitely ghost. You can see them straight through, but they do not bleed. All right, so there is your pen test in the Leuchtturm and what your pages look like. And there is your pen test in the Scribbles That Matter. The Scribbles That Matter paper definitely feels thicker. It definitely feels better. There is a big difference in the way that it feels. I will tell you that. And I will just show you some more. Just that's how it looks when you've written on a whole page in your Leuchtturm. So let's see. And when you just, look at writing that has writing on the other page, you can see what that looks like in the Leuchtturm. So once you fill it up with writing, though, the ghosting from the other page somehow really doesn't show through and bother you. So that's the way it goes. That is the Leuchtturm with writing in it. Now let's talk about the differences. At the end of the Scribbles That Matter, they have a little mindfulness page where they say, flip through this journal from the first page to the last. See all the scribbles? A mirror to your past. What have you learned? How have you grown? Reflect and ponder when you are alone. Date journal ended. So I think that's a nice little wrap up on your journal. It's a cute little poem. And to note when your journal ended and wrap up what you used it for and how you've grown. I think that's a nice little addition. Of course, you can do that at the end of your Leuchtturm, even though they don't have a page directed for that. Okay, so then you have your title page, and then here's where the Leuchtturm differs quite a bit. Leuchtturm, this is your fill in your contact information page. And then you have their little title page. It's just smaller down there. And then you have your table of contents right here. So, of course, this has it in the German also. And you have it in English. And we don't have that here. It's a completely different look. And this is, I guess, what their table of contents looked like in their metallic versions. I have a newer lined version right here. This is a lined version I'm using for my life book. And so this was bought newer than the one in my leather cover. And this is the way my table of contents is looking in the Leuchtturm in here. So I think this was just a special setup for the metallic version. And usually in your normal colored, it's going to look more like this table of contents. That's my guess, because this is the most recent one. I bought this navy blue one for my life book, and I have a video on that too. Okay, so here they're actually giving you a whole page for a bullet journal key. So if you are actually going to use it for bullet journaling and you need a key page, which I don't, but I think that is very helpful. Of course, you could just make this into a key page, or if you don't want to use your table of contents for a key page, you could use this back blank page for a key page before the dotted pages start, or you could use your first dotted page for a key. So, you know, that's not a deal breaker. Then you have, they call it your index in Scribbles That Matter, and you have it outlined 1, 2, I think 3. Yeah, 3 index pages, and then your dot pages start. In Leuchtturm, you have just 2 index pages. Because the lines are smaller, you can fit more in here. And then your dot grid starts, and you have a blank page on the back. So you could carry over back to there. Let me see what my navy blue is like right here. You have 1, 2, 3 index pages. So I think that's how the normal colors are. They're a little bit different than the metallic. And then you have a plain page also. So Leuchtturm always likes to start your writing page on the right side. And in case you haven't gone to watch this video, in case you want to know, if you pick a Leuchtturm lined journal, they do have this written in German date and English date at the top, which I'm not a huge fan of. I wish it was blank there. And they also have that date written in if you want to buy the graph grid lined notebook, which I really wanted to try a Leuchtturm graph lined notebook, the grid, for my daily journaling, but I don't want the date breaking up the top section there. So I have not bought it. Okay, now let's talk about, so that's your major difference. That's it. I think we've been over everything. How it feels in the hand to me, Leuchtturm feels much better in my hand. It just feels good, you guys. And it's thinner. It has a completely different feel. I really wish that Leuchtturm would up their paper game. I wish they would go to 100 GSM and then just take some pages out to keep the same thickness. I'm okay with them taking 50 pages out to up the paper game. And if they would up their paper game, it would be perfect in my opinion. When Scribbles That Matters restocks their professional ones, if they have a color that I like, I may buy one to try for my daily listing, but it will not fit in my 1-star leather cover, and that's really disappointing to me. So that's pretty much it, you guys. It's really just different books for different people, different strokes for different folks. You have to weigh what means the most to you. And you have to weigh, you know, how many pages are in it, how the color of the dots, you know, really what you want in your journal and what you're going to use it for. So I think these are both great journals is what it comes down to. It's just they're very different. And you have to weigh which one is for you, for the task you want it right now. I hope that was helpful. And please let me know below if you use either one of these, but especially if you've tried both of these or if you've tried the Scribbles That Matter. I would love to know what you think about it after you've worked in it for like months, or if you've filled up a book. I would love to know about that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Happy planning, and we'll see you next time.